Hello, this is Christine with ChristineLeeser.com or from ChristineLeeser.com. Today is Friday, December 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I thought tonight I would talk a little bit. Oops, little glitch there. So I thought tonight we'd talk a little bit about an article that I wrote this week about reinventing yourself. And I was talking to a friend. She was talking about making really big changes in 2024. And I'm a big fan. I have reinvented myself a number of times over the years. When I was in my 20s, I was, always up for a party. And then in my late 20s, I started a family and that didn't work. So I changed like everything about my life, which was good at the time. And then again, when my children were grown and kind of off on their own, I did it again. And if you look at the link down below, you can read that entire article. And reinventing yourself is a lot like setting intentions, but the intentions are really big and sometimes life altering. So it doesn't mean that you're denying the person that you were or are. You're just giving yourself permission to change what you want to change. And if you don't need to change anything, don't. But if you do, take a look at the article. It'll give you some ideas about what I did and what worked for me. And the most important part is don't let anyone else dictate what you can and can't do or what you should and shouldn't do. And I know I say this all the time, but follow your joy. Um, really do some deep soul searching to figure out what you, only you, not anybody else, really want from your life, what you want to create, and the life that you want to live. So, again, check out the link below, and there's a way to contact me through that post. So, please feel free to go ahead. I'd love to talk to you. And then we have a couple of astrology things. I know last week I spoke about this coming week and all the Venus astrology. And then on the 12th, which is Tuesday, the new moon is in Sagittarius. This is our last new moon of the year. It's in Sagittarius, and the new moon is about starting things. It's about exploring new things, or planting seeds and looking at what you want. And it's in Sagittarius, who's the big adventurer. So, what I would suggest that you try something new, that you enroll in a class that you've kind of been looking at, get out of your comfort zone, join a club, have a really open mind, and be on the lookout for the adventures that are calling to you. And if you have fellow adventurers, your partners in crime, drag them along. It should be a good time. That being said, the very same day, Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn. So this is the second time this year that that's happened. So it was at the beginning of the year. And what I would suggest is that you look back at what was going on in the beginning of the year and see if those themes are revisiting you now or you're revisiting them. And take the time to see if there's a lesson that you haven't quite learned that maybe you need to work on a little bit more. Or, as I mentioned last week, make sure you understand return policies, make sure you understand what's in your contract, have a second pair of eyes look at it. Any agreements that you make may have to be revisited after Mercury goes direct. So, any like streaming charges for streaming services, your free trial now, but what happens in January? What happens after the free trial is over? So, I would just suggest that you look at those things and take what works for you, leave the rest. And so now we're going to get into some readings. And I don't see anybody's here yet, so I'll read for myself, right? So let's see. How are the holidays going to go? I finished all of my holiday shopping today. And hello, Alan. How are you? So I'm very happy and I'm very glad that it got here all before Mercury Retrograde. Um, I'm still waiting on a couple of things, but they say that they're very close to my house. So hopefully that's true. So, how will the holidays go? Like a general question. We got the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So, what this would say is a young person, a passionate, fiery person, um, someone young who's maybe you're going to see them when they go home. Maybe they're coming home to you. Maybe it's a child of yours. Um, and I see, and again, this speaks to me of an open mind, which we were just talking about in the astrology talking points. And then the King of Wands, and he's kind of the guy in charge, also very passionate. Maybe this is a child and parent kind of situation that might need some toning down, or maybe it's just a great situation. Everybody's happy to be together. And then we've got the Five of Pentacles. And what this speaks to a lot for me, first of all, it's freezing here in North Central Florida. But this card really speaks to me about asking for help when you need it. If the two people are obviously not happy, but right here is, some sort of establishment. It looks to me like it would be a church, which the Waite Smith tarot, or there's a lot of Christian Catholic symbolism in it. But ask for help. If even if it's, I need help in the kitchen, ask the King of Wands and the Page of Wands to come on into the kitchen and help you out. Maybe that's something. Alan, go ahead. Ask any question. Alan says he's new here. We're all new here. This is my third live, so it's going pretty well. While we wait for Alan's question, let's talk about StarCon. I was in Christiana Gaudette's live this afternoon, and she was talking a lot about StarCon. And if you don't know what StarCon is, visit STAARCon.com and see if you can join us. We're going to be in West Palm. There's also a lot of virtual tickets that you can purchase. I'm going to go in person. I'm actually running the Bardic Circle on, I think it's Saturday evening. So it's going to be my first time. If you're going to be there, let me know. I'd love to meet you. I still don't have your question, Alan. All right, while we wait for Alan, let's see. Oh, I'm currently going through separation. My husband is asking for time and space and is not clear if he wants to get back after the break. That's a tough one. I'm sorry. So, will there be a reconciliation? Okay, that's Alan asking that. And I think it's really possible, a renewed love, a renewed commitment, or it could possibly be a new love completely. He says he is in the low of lows right now. I mean, the Eight of Cups. Sometimes we need to walk away, even if it's just for a short time. But I think you need to give them their space. And if they're going to come back, they're going to come back. But forcing it doesn't seem like that would be a good thing to do at this point in time. But here's the Two of Cups, which it bodes pretty well for me. Maybe just let him do what it is that he needs to do right now. Hmm. Just moving away. It looks like they're really having a tough time. So, like I stated, I would give them the time that they need. And that's one of the hardest things to do. I get that. I'm the type of person that wants to force it, even if I'm forcing it poorly. So I don't, I don't suggest that. But give them this space, a specific timeline, the card as to when he would reach out. All right, the Two of Wands. So I don't think it's going to be too long. We've got the Chariot, we've got the Two of Wands, we've got the Ace of Swords, which is beginnings. Then we have the Nine of Swords, which leads me to believe he's really having a tough time. That I'm not really getting a when. Let's look again. Well, we got the Six of Swords again. 6 months? Does that resonate? Well, whatever happens, I hope it works out in both of your best interests. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to go through. So did that resonate? Does that? Oh, he said 6 months, but it's been 5 months so far now. So I say, give him the space. If he said 6 months and I got 6 months twice, the first time I didn't know it was 6 months, but then the second time I did. So it's December, maybe the pressure of the holidays, whether you celebrate them, whatever you celebrate, maybe that's a little much. Maybe after the first of the year when things calm down, I wouldn't try to reach out to them before that. And I might even give it a little more time than the 6 months, even if it's just, 2 weeks. But, they've been very clear that they need space. And I think it's important moving forward that they know that if they need space, you're able to give it to them. But again, I really hope it works out in everybody's best interest. Alan says, makes sense. I guess I don't have much option left. You have all the options in the world. I know that sounds harsh, but you are in control of your stuff. So even if it's not exactly the way you think it's going to turn out, you can make that decision. Like, look, I'm done. It's, your time is up. If you gave them 6 months, you have the option to say, you know what, I'm moving on. If that's not what you want, then make other arrangements. But don't ever feel like you're powerless, because you're not. You're never powerless. Even when you think you're powerless, you still have the power to change something. So you're very welcome. I'm happy to give you whatever help I can. And again, I hope it all works out for the best. So, is there anybody else here? Thank you, Alan. All right, so what else could we talk about? How about what new things can we explore with the new moon in Sagittarius? Deepening relationships, whether it's love relationships or business relationships or community relationships. I would explore new ways to build those relationships. Ah, happiness, the happy family. I love this card. Look for new ways to enhance your family, to come up with ways to connect deeper, maybe than you have been, happier. Um, Game night, pizza night, help mom clean the floors night, really anything. But again, it speaks to relationships. So, and then we got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. So this would speak to me. I said, help mom clean the floor. Mom's the queen. Maybe there's something that mom needs to either do to instigate, or maybe if you're not the mom archetype in this particular situation, maybe there's something you can do for the person who is. Whether it doesn't have to be a woman, but somebody that cares for you. What do you think? Okay. What else can we ask the cards? I ordered 2 new decks yesterday. It's the same deck, but one is regular size and one is pocket size. And I decided that one is for me and one is for my daughter, but I haven't decided which one she's getting and which one I'm keeping. So, will I connect with that deck? Eight of Wands. So that's messages, that's quick moving. I would say that I'm going to bond with it very quickly and I'm going to get a lot of information from it. I'm going to get a lot of messages from it. The Wheel of Fortune. I'd really like to figure out how to get these to be clear. The Wheel of Fortune, everything has its season and it does say tarot, doesn't it? So I'm going to say that yes, this is a very good deck for me. I like that, right? Alan, do you have any more questions? It seems like it's just me and you. I'm thinking that Friday nights during the holidays probably wasn't the best idea I ever had, but I'm going to stick with it and we're going to see how it goes. There's only a couple of Fridays left of the year. So after the new year, and once I get back from StarCon, again, shameless plug, go check it out. So that's January 18th to the 21st. So when we get back in February, we'll be back strong. So it'll be, hopefully people are staying home on Friday nights after the new year. But I should have thought of that. It's the biggest party month of the year. And I say, yeah, let's do it on Friday nights. Oh, Alan would like to know. I would maybe ask how it's going to be after I move into my new place this Sunday. Oh, congratulations. I like new places. A lot of people like to stay in one place forever. I do not. I'm a big fan of moving. Not a big fan of packing, but I'm a big fan of moving. Okay, so Alan's new place. How's it gonna go? Okay, we've got the Hierophant, which speaks to me of tradition or someone in authority. Not always a religious thing. Alan said packing and packing is a nightmare. It is. And the older you get, I don't know how old you are, but the older you get, the worse it gets. So is this in a neighborhood that you used to live in? Is there some sort of tradition surrounding that? Surrounding the new place? We've got Temperance. And this is, my mentor told me that that's not water that Temperance is pouring from one goblet to the other. It's stardust. It's goodness. So I'm going to say, and this is a whole bunch of, we got two major arcana cards that are both good. And then we got the Nine of Cups. So I'm thinking it's everything you need right now. And it's going to be a pleasant experience. Is that what you feel with it? Again, the Eight of Wands. So lots of messages. Are you getting messages? Oh, okay. Alan said, yes, I am Hindu and that place has Hindu temples. So I like going to temples for peace of mind. Oh, I would love to do that. That sounds lovely. Oh, that's great then. So it sounds like you're right where you're supposed to be, right? Does that resonate? So I think that's going to be a good move for you. Oh, I shuffled. I got the Hierophant again. So definitely the tradition. And I got Temperance again. There's, I promise you I shuffled. So that's been happening a lot lately. It's really bizarre, but oh good. I'm glad it resonates. It sounds lovely. So I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope the move goes well. It's so bad. And you're moving Sunday. Okay, so that's 2 days from now. All right, are you ready? Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's moving is a lot. But I love when you're unpacking and you're putting everything where you want it to go and you're making this blank space your own. I love that. I think that's fun. You're not really ready, but excited for a new adventure. There's the new moon in Sagittarius. I don't know if you were here when we were talking about that, but the new moon in Sagittarius is all about starting new things, which is what the new moon is about. And Sagittarius is the adventurer. So it's a new adventure. And that's what you just said. So that's kind of awesome. No, that's yay. I love when things work out. Makes me happy. Okay. So just pulling a bunch of cards, and I guess they're all for Alan because he's the only one here. And the Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking of things, so I really like this move for you. The Two of Swords. So this could be a decision. This could be balance. This could be making the decision. See if she has the blindfold on? That's speaking to me right now like you're going to have to make a decision and that you can't move forward until that decision is made. So then we've got the Devil, which, what does that speak to? Is there something you need to leave behind? Is there something that's just not working for you anymore? What do you think? I can hear my dog running up and down the hallway. She doesn't like it when I shut her out of the office. So, what else can we talk about? Oop. So the Page of Pentacles, I think this might be for me. I'm thinking about a new study, a new astrology study, a new course that I'm actually looking for the perfect fit for me. But, that speaks to me of study. And, I'm not exactly a young person, but I am kind of new at studying astrology. I've got a basic sense of it, but I'm looking to get it deeper and deeper. So I think that one's meant for me. Oh, what else? We have time for like one more question if you've got another one, Alan. And I would like to point out that if you go to the description, you can find the link to the article that I was talking about. Um, you can find all of my socials. You can subscribe to this, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I'm going live. Alan said, I started a little bit digging into astrology, Vedic astrology. Is it Vedic or Vedic? And it makes sense with what happened so far in my life. Okay, yeah, that, it's really, I think astrology and tarot are so intertwined. They don't have to be, but I think if you're using them both as tools, I know for me, I get a deeper sense of what's happening. So take what works for you, leave the rest. Oh, okay. Alan said maybe one last question. My husband says he doesn't feel anything from me now. This is tough. Okay. So when people tell you who they are, believe them. If Alan says, is he suppressing his feelings or is he telling the truth? Okay. Is he suppressing his feelings or is he telling the truth? I think honestly it could go either way, but if I would have to say that when something is wrong, when there is trouble in something and somebody tells you, you know what, I don't that doesn't mean that it won't change, but I think either they just need the room to do that themselves. They need to figure it out themselves, or they're afraid to tell you what is happening in their life. But it doesn't sound like he's afraid to tell you. But that's a tough one. I've got the Queen of Pentacles. And, you know, does someone need some grounding? Does someone need to really look at things in a more mature way, in a more grounded way? And we've got the Lovers. And while this, of course, it could be used as a couple, as lovers, it's more about choices. And again, my mentor, Christiana Godet, she says, look at the woman and look at the man looking at the woman. The woman isn't looking at the man. She is looking up at the angel. So this is about what do we want and where are we going with this? And the Chariot says we're going wherever we want to. So, Alan, I can't clearly say for sure, but I think that either way, you need to let them have their space. Maybe they are suppressing their feelings, or maybe it has nothing to do with their feelings for you, but more about what they're internalizing, what their thought processes, what they're going through. And maybe are they a really communicative person? Do they communicate well? Because if they don't communicate well in general, then I might think that they don't know how to tell you what's going on. This is the second Eight of Swords for you, right, Alan? And I think that you'll get the messages. I don't know what they're going to be or how they're going to go, but you're going to be getting some messages. And the Five of Swords. Okay, so this is a victory, but I don't think it's a well-won victory. I think it's, everybody's walking away with bad feelings and, people have just given up. And maybe that's not the end of the story. Maybe there's more to come. What do you think? And then, the sun. Whatever happens, Alan, you're brilliant. You're lovely. And you deserve the very best that life has to offer. So take that as you will. I think that you have a lot of choices. He responds to your messages and talks to you, but does he communicate? Is he Yes, it is true. Believe that. You deserve the best of everything. And sometimes we might not know what that is, or we have to go through something in order to learn something. My New York is showing. Um, so I hope that resonates. I think we're going to end this on a high note that Alan deserves everything good in the world. And again, I'm here every Friday night at 7 p.m. As I said, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll be notified when we go live. And I want to thank you so much for being here with me. Alan, I hope everything goes perfect. I hope everything is lovely. And whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a happy one. Even if it's just today, even if it's just, celebrating December 8th. So thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with me. Have a good night.